My name is Cisneros. Today I'm going to be showing you guys on how to get that Chango production sound from the early 2000s from bands like Woe Is Me, Skylight Drive, and Memphis Mayfire. And the reason I decided to make this video today was because when I was learning to engineer and when I was learning to produce music and stuff like that, that was kind of like the benchmark of what I wanted my records to sound like. And the cool thing about that is that Cameron Mizell, the owner of Chango Productions, shared a lot of his production with us with his web store and letting people, get their hands on his drum samples that he used in records for the bands like Woe Is Me and A Skylight Drive and Memphis Mayfire. So I have some of those samples. I'm gonna show you guys on how to get that sound today and how to mix those samples into your own production. So let's see what we can do. All right, so I got my glasses on. I got my DW pulled up. That means we're ready for business. So let's see. This is my DAW. I use Cubase. I just happen to like Cubase more than all the other softwares. I do own a copy of Logic, but I don't know if it's a superstition in me that believes I achieve better results with Cubase. And this isn't a plug for Cubase either. They're just, if they want to send me stuff, they can. But yeah, let's start off with the drums first. So I got Easy Drummer here. That's usually I use it as a writing tool, never as a final result tool. I do love the way you can program and the interface within it, but like I said, it's not the results I'm trying to achieve for this video. But let's see what it sounds like. And I got my guitars already bust out. I got them panned. I got them EQ'd the way I want them to sound, so you guys can listen in on this. So you guys can hear the guitars sound like this and the drums sound like this, really tiny. And that's where Chango drums comes into play. So let's get rid of that track. And let's bring in our Chango drums. So I am using the Woe Is Me Vengeance kit. Similar to the legendary FOP kit, but this one just happens to have a little bit more processing on it. And yeah, I just happen to like this one a little more than all the other kits. But I'll show you guys why. So I got my cymbals already pre-panned, kind of already EQ'd. You didn't really have to do very much to cymbals other than just get them to stop washing in your mix. But that's just cutting a little bit of the highs. So the kick and the toms are on the same exact channel. Normally you shouldn't do things like that, but I like to do that because it just saves me a little DSP, since it is a contact instrument. So let's mute all the other stuff so you guys can hear clearly what is happening to the kit as I'm adding some plugins in. So we got our kick, and we're going to increase the volume of the toms a bit. And one plugin you guys are going to hear me talk about a lot is going to be Easy Mix. I love Easy Mix. Easy Mix is one of those plugins that you're only limited to 2 knobs on it, which is, in my opinion, less is better. And not to mention that you get that instant gratification when you just click on a preset sometimes. It just, I don't know what it is, but it just sounds awesome. And I'll show you guys an example of that. So I got my kick here. I'm going to disengage the plugin. And you guys get to hear how it sounds and what difference it makes. So that's without it. With it. So sounds awesome. And all I'm doing to the kick now is honestly just going to increase some of that slap that I like to hear in a kick to get it to cut through a mix. And that usually lives around here. Solid. We got it. All right, so that's pretty much it for our kick. I'm not really doing too much to the drums. They sound pretty good as they are. That's the one good thing about Chango drums, is that they just sound good right out of the box. You may just have to, you know, do some brightening up here and there, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. But other than that, they sound awesome. And let's move on to our snare. Our snare, like I said, right out of the box sounds great. I just want to kind of emphasize the shotgun-y. Is that even a word? Shotgun-y? Shotgun sound of the snare. And all I'm going to do is add a transient master to it. And transient just kind of emphasizes that room sound of the snare. Let's see. So I'm not going to engage the plugin yet. So I'm just going to increase the volume of this guy. So without the plugin, with the plugin. Sounds awesome. All right, cool. So we got our snare, we got our kick and toms. Now I think we're just ready to bust these guys and send them off to an effects channel. And I don't have anything loaded for my effects, so let's see. Got my channel here, turn that on. It's kick and tom, snare. And it is going to make it a little louder, but we're just going to change some of the sounds. Not the sound, but, you know, emphasize some of the frequencies in it. So let's see. Once again, I got my Easy Mix pulled up. And let's see. We're just going to add some brightness to it. So there's a preset that I like here that I like adding in buses. It's actually, I think it's here. There you go. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Let's see. Got to check my notes. I tend to forget exactly what I did to make these drums sound so huge. Awesome. That already sounds huge. All right, so let me just add some reverb to that. And yeah, that's honestly what we're doing. It's just adding reverb. That sounds good. All right, cool. So really easy to achieve this tone. Like I said, I'm not really doing much other than coloring some, you know, frequencies more than others. And that's just through the help of EQ and compression. Now we're on to the bass tone. So the bass tone is a Chango preset that he, I believe, still offers in his production store. I don't know if he does, but, you know, if he doesn't, you can hit him up for it. I'm pretty sure he'd be willing to help you out. So this one was called Chango Twango, and it was a contact instrument. And it doesn't sound that great by itself. It sounds kind of like a tractor, but in a mix, to me, it makes a huge difference, especially when you like layered it up with guitars and stuff like that. It sounds pretty rad. So let's see what that sounds like by itself first before we start adding some cool stuff to it. Yeah, see what I meant? So it sounds a little weird, sounds a little funky, but just hold out on this real quick. So we're going to start dialing in some frequencies. There's a certain frequency that I like hearing in this bass that usually lives around here, which is the low end, that I really want to emphasize. And another one is here, which is the slap and the stringy sound of the bass. So I love those frequencies, and I usually like to bring them out in mixes because for some odd reason they add a lot more aggressiveness into the mix. So we're gonna start bringing those in. Carve that out a little bit. All right, before that gets too annoying for you guys. And I'm just bringing out that highs that I like in the bass tone. So I'm going to disengage the plugin, and then I'm going to bring it back so you guys can hear the difference. So this is without it. And this is with it. So sounds good. Now we're going to increase the bass more. And we're going to do that through a plugin called Max Bass. And all I'm doing is just adding more low end to make this mix just sound bigger and fatten up the guitars. So let's see. I think we got it. So now let's hear this with the drums and just the drums and the bass. And when you guys put the bass up against the guitars, or at least with the guitar tone I have, which is that Chango, what is it? Chango Breakdowny Mix Ready guitar, which is a pot farm preset. It sounds awesome. So that together with the bass just glues all together like some awesome mix. And in the spirit of Chango, I also added some epic strings. So normally in his production, he usually had some pretty cinematic strings or effects or some Michael Bay effects, like, you know, some slaps, slams, and of course some like sci-fi slams as well in there too. And I incorporated those, and believe it or not, you can actually get these in his production store. So it's another cool thing about him is that he incorporated a lot of those things into his production and made them available for everyone else. So these are just some strings I programmed. Unfortunately, you can't get those strings, but you know, it's just, you can kind of get creative with it, make your own. So I'll let you guys hear that. All right, cool. So we got our guitars, we got our drums, we got our bass, we got pretty much everything all set. And I think we're ready. So pretty much pretty simple, pretty easy. It's a lot of pretties in there. But, you know, if you guys have any questions in regards to any of this, you can feel free to send me a direct message, or if not, just leave a comment in the description, however you guys like. I'd be happy to answer any of the questions. But other than that, get creative with it, have fun with it. Let me know however I can help. I'm going to let this play through all the way. And let me know if this mix sucks, or if it's pretty good, or if it needs tweaking of its own. You guys take care.